yeah, finish the physical part of prep. Feel good about where the team is. No updates with respect to availability. So the one thing is that Landon Wells has returned to practice, and I guess the other one, just different from last week, is Darian Wiley's back to full participation now. So yeah, I'm excited about finishing out the week and having a chance to play a second home game. It'll be a lot of fun, and want to play better than we played against Virginia Tech. But I'm happy to answer questions.
You've got some pretty good players who didn't get to play that much because it was a close game. You lean on your starters. How much are they chomping at the bit to try to get in there? I guess.
Well, we have players that deserve the chance to be on the field, and in game one, it's always a balance between making sure, especially a game against a good opponent like we had, you just don't ever want the rhythm of a game to lose the rhythm, and you go through all fall camp, you're working hard, you get into game prep mode, and sometimes in that moment you just focus on the 11 that are playing. So to your point, I think success for us is going to look a little different moving forward, where there are more people involved, and that could be getting 10 snaps where I got 0. That could be getting 30 snaps where I got 0, right? To your point, there's some talented people that need to contribute more on the field, and that will. Again, game one was about, sticking with the guys that we knew were going to give us our best chance. And I think particularly when you play as few snaps as we did in the first half, we weren't able to get a lot of people out there. You don't want to make those changes late in the game. But in the offensive line, we did. I mean, Cade got in there on the tying drive. And that was his series. I mean, what a statement to trust that Coach K has in him. Obviously, X and Steven rotated through. It was good to see that stuff. We need more of that. That's how you build a successful football team.
Without Colby Taylor, is Jalen Lackey a guy who can see the field more and maybe make an impact on Saturday?
For sure. And Jalen's a guy, independent of anyone else, that through fall camp ascended and has shown that he has the chance to impact winning for us. I think anytime you're talking about true freshman corner, a year ago we didn't have a choice. Now we can bring him along and hopefully develop him as the year goes. But expect him to be out there on Saturdays for us. Expect him to make the same plays we've seen him make through the fall.
How difficult is Alcorn playing multiple quarterbacks to prepare for?
It's hard. They're all talented. They have similar skill sets. I mean, I think there's a spectrum there of danger in the run game to danger in the throw game. But anytime you're dealing with multiple quarterbacks, it's a challenge. Again, they all have the capability of putting the ball up and making it pay. So we have to be disciplined. We have to be in structure. The things that cost us against Virginia Tech will cost us against Alcorn State. So it's how do we clean up our performance and make sure we're ready to play a better, cleaner game.
How do you weigh, I don't know, how much do you look at success rate, especially on offense, and how do you weigh that against other factors, explosive plays, yards, total yards, whatever?
Yeah, it's a blend. Obviously, we look closely at early down success rate. Certainly, being efficient and staying on schedule is important to us. But down series success rate becomes a really important statistic when it comes down to just the overall performance of your offense. We want to be an explosive team, and we believe our belief is that comes through the development of an identity that starts with a running attack. So can we be a physical offense that creates leverage issues through formation, numbers issues through scheme, right? That then creates one-on-one opportunities for us to get the ball in the air. And that showed up at times. Obviously we were a little more methodical, and I think that can be a really powerful thing for our design too, because every run play that goes for 4 or 5 yards is like a body punch, and those body punches kind of open up opportunities in the third and fourth quarter to impose your will. But we want to be explosive. We want to get the ball up in the air. But for us, it's always going to start with that early down efficiency and establishing a run game.
With a handful of true freshmen that have been on the depth chart, Do you use these early games as kind of like an evaluation to see whether it's worth, burning that red shirt for them?
We use our practice as an evaluation for that. We don't. I think the minute that they cross the lines, that you better know, at least have an idea of what you're expecting through the season from them. What you don't want to do is start throwing people out, against Virginia Tech that you're going to need later in the season. And so the balance there is like, what are the skills they bring? How does it enhance the product on the field? What does the depth look like in the position? What's the likelihood that we're going to need them later in the year? And then in situations where, it's going to be a 4-game and they're heading towards a red shirt, then you pick and choose, there may be a week where we need some additional help on kickoff team. We got a number of guys that can run down on kickoff and be successful for us. Let's not do it all at the Virginia Tech game and then look up in the middle of the season and say, hey, we lost a chance of playing them. So it's a balance, and there's got to be strategy behind it, but that's kind of how we approach it.
What's the level of adjustment needed, to switch between strong and quick guard or tackle? Because I noticed Hubbard's playing strong guard in the game, but he seemed to do pretty well despite having practiced at quick guard during camp.
There's if you watch them train, the actual, there's subtleties to the way they train through individual, but a lot of it is the same, right? The core fundamentals of playing the offensive line are the same. What the position changes do is allow you to, first of all, build chemistry on a line, on a side, and then kind of hone in. And I said this before, it's very similar to playing field corner and boundary corner. You can do things in terms of your tactics that kind of pull the strengths out. So an offensive line that plays 5 guys right and left, you have to have skills throughout the entire 5 that navigate a lot of challenging situations. Strong and quick, you can kind of hone in on the certain specific skills that somebody has and let those pull to the surface. So long-winded, but to say, I don't know that there's that much of a difference. It's subtle, and for some guys that have the ability to play either or, they would do fine playing right or left. There's some guys that are just a little more built for one or the other. Those guys would struggle maybe at times trying to do things that aren't within their skill set. Hubbard's a guy that, he's played a lot of football and he's got the ability to flow. So,
anything else?
How are the Cheez-Its?
They were delicious. Yeah, more Cheez-Its, please.